offend nobody, but I know I'm gonna step on some people's toes if I release some of this content. Listen, if you ain't do it to me, I won't be dealing with it. Hey you guys, this is Nilah and welcome back to my journey. Today I'm going to be putting out the story time of how I found out I had cancer. If you're interested in this content, make sure you like the button, leave a comment, join the family, and turn on your post notifications so you'll be notified every single time I upload a video. I do have a storyline written on the side of the screen, so I'm going to, I just deleted it. Let me go back and do that. Okay, there we go. So I have a storyline of just a time frame of everything, but I'm going to allow myself to just vent organically to you guys. All right, so to start off this story time, I don't remember a lot of things, but I'm going to start from where I remember. I will say growing up as a child, I was always having like certain health issues. It was mainly my asthma at the time. I remember fainting at school one day when I was in New Orleans, and I woke up to me being transported to the emergency room, which ended up being a long stay of me being there for a while. I'm not sure exactly how long I was there, but it felt like I was there for a long time. Long story short, I ended up moving to Minnesota when I was a child. When I moved to Minnesota, I still had health issues as far as my asthma, but I don't think it was that bad. Like I would get sick sometimes, but it was nothing that made me go to the hospital and all that. So I'm just gonna jump back into when I moved to Dallas. Y'all been all over the place. We'll do some story time if y'all really into this story time. Sorry, y'all. So my 12th grade year, I was going through so much as a 12th grader, and I started to realize that a lot of the things that I was going through in my life was not okay, but that's when it hit me the most, because I was always one to just pray about it and just wait for change to happen. Well, back then I didn't understand that you had to apply, you can pray about things, but you also have to take the necessary steps to heal from things as well. You know, you can't just pray for a miracle and a miracle happens. You have to pray for it and work towards it. But I didn't know all that back then. You know, people just tell you pray about it, pray about it, pray about it. When I asked for a therapist, I never got one. So let's just put it like this. A lot of stuff was hitting me my 12th grade year. But I want to say a few months after graduation, I started to lose so much weight, you guys. So much weight. My weight has always fluctuated throughout my childhood, but I noticed when I graduated, I was like the biggest I've probably ever been. Then I just randomly lost all the weight, just randomly within, I was so small, I'll insert some pictures here. It was one day that I was in my room and I was telling my mom, like, I just feel like I can't move. Like, I'm so tired all the time, I'm sleepy. It was so weird. I started to have panic attacks when I took a shower. Anything was starting. I just was starting to have breathing problems, or just, I don't know what was going on. But y'all, I can be in the shower and the steam would make me just jump out and run out the shower. It was that intense, where I just could not get out of bed, and I was constantly sleeping for, I want to say it was like 2 to 3 days, and my mom was just like, I'm gonna take you to the doctor because something is just not adding up. I went to go get some scans done, and that came back fine. They just told me that I might have hyperthyroidism. So that's when I got blood work done, and then they're like, yeah, you have hyperthyroidism. We're gonna send you to this doctor. So I was going to a majority of my doctor's appointments alone, but she did go to some of them with me. I started to see this doctor. He gave me heart pills because he told me I had an abnormal heartbeat. Y'all, make sure when you go to the doctor, you bring someone with you, because I was so young. I was fresh out of high school. I didn't understand a god darn syllable that man was saying. You hear me? Didn't understand anything. So, and again, I was by myself. So it was just whatever. Yeah, so I started taking thyroid medicine, all types of stuff for that. My living situation in Dallas didn't work out. But we're going to just jump right into when I moved in with my dad. I moved with my dad for like 2-3 months. I don't even know. It was not long at all, y'all, because that was short-lived. So September 10th, 2016, I went to the hospital in Georgia, and I went in with a very extremely high heart rate, and I was very low on my fluids. I remember telling my dad that I needed to go to the hospital, and I felt like he was just not taking me serious, and it was disgusting, honestly. And it was just so disheartening. He didn't stay with me at the hospital. He just dropped me off and just skirt, you feel me? So I was at the hospital by myself, and I was just like, this ain't gonna work. Me living here is not gonna work. So guess what I did? The very next day, y'all, I went back to Dallas. September 11th, I went back to Dallas, and September 12th, I went to the hospital and did blood work and scans to figure out what was going on with me. Still nothing was found. Like, they didn't find anything. It was just my thyroid. So things was not working out for me. It just was not working out for me. And I'll get more in detail if you guys want an in-depth story time about my upbringing. Y'all, I ended up moving to New York. Okay. And it was December 4th exactly. I was in this domestic violence relationship that led me into going into the hospital. Y'all, I'm over here trying to run away from the trauma that I was already experiencing with both of my parents, and I landed myself into the hands of somebody that just did not deserve me. Let's just put it like that, okay? That's why mental health is the best health, and you should seek a therapist. But yeah, I know these things now. So I was in the hospital. I was rushed to the hospital because my ear was cut. I'm not sure if you guys can see on this ear. I have an earring in too. But my ear was sliced in the front and the back. Pretty much the person threw their grinder blade at me, and it sliced my ear. And it cut my neck. So I was rushed to the hospital, and I had to do surgery, or what is it, when they stitch back up your ear? Yeah. So I was basically I was numbed. They numbed me, and they stitched my ear back up. That same night, this is when they ran scans on me. And this is the same scans that I would have in Dallas. So I was just so confused. They're like, it's something that, they're like, this mass is hard, but it's movable. So that's a good sign. So long story short, they sent me in this time frame between December 4th to December 20th, which is when I actually got my surgery done to do the biopsy. I was going to an ENT that was in I forgot what part of New York that was in. Cheektowaga, child. Cheektowaga. It took me a long time to learn how to say that city. But yeah, it was in Cheektowaga, New York. I was seeing an ENT specialist, and she told me at first that, yeah, this can't be cancerous, so you don't have to worry. You don't have to worry. You don't have to worry. Then she did the little neck biopsy. We know the biopsy where they just do it with the needles and just pull it out, sample it, Nothing came back. It was coming back inconclusive. So I was like, okay. So on December 20th, she scheduled me to have a surgery, which is 5 days before Christmas, y'all. And I was just so sad. I was just so sad. So they took out that large mass that used to be located in my neck. And they cut it in half, and they found dead cancer cells. So I was just like, what? Like, what is going on? That's when it hit me the hardest, y'all. When I say I thought my life was just done, I said, I'm going through a domestic violence relationship. I done fell out with people in my life. I'm realizing a lot of things that happened in my childhood was just not okay. And I'm just trying to deal with it all. Just trying to deal with it all, y'all, and still have a good heart. I never turned sour on nobody. I did separate myself from people that's obvious though. And it was time for me to separate myself from this domestic violence relationship. But y'all would have thought I left, right? Y'all would have thought I left. But it wasn't as easy. People who have been in real domestic violence relationships understand that it was not that easy to leave, especially for me. Every time I try to leave this situation, something crazy happened. It was always a fight for me to leave. Even when I wanted to leave and I would pack my stuff would be dumped right back on the floor. And it's like, girl, you're not going nowhere kind of thing. You're going to have to kill me to leave. That's what it was given. Just saying. So May 27th, we got into another altercation. And I was like, I can't do this. This is not gonna work. This ain't gonna work. The only reason why I was staying out there, because, girl, that's another story. So May 27th, bleach was poured on me, y'all. Bleach. bleach. You know the bleach that you clean your house with. You know the bleach that you wash your clothes with. Yes, that bleach was poured all over me. But they poured it on top of me in the midst of an argument, and I just could not believe it. I was like, I'm tired of having to wake up and fight. I'm tired of this. Like, I'm tired. I am tired. I was too nice. I was too freaking nice, y'all. Too nice. But I didn't have no family, no friends. The only friend that I have, I still have her as a friend. The only friend that I had at the time, though, was the person that I was at work with. I was planning my exit. So me and my friend was on the phone trying to plan how I'm going to leave. I done told my job. I done told my apartments, everything. I done told the police officers what was going on that I had called. But my friend, I don't know why I listen to her, but I love her so much because I just do. She had my back today. She's like, girl, we don't need no police officer. We're going to go in there and get your stuff and we gonna get out of here. So I was just like, are you? I said, I don't think it's going to be that peaceful. She's like, no, because I'm with you so nothing should happen. Well, that was false. The person ended up fighting my friend. Literally fighting my friend, telling him to get out the house that we both had. We had a 2-bedroom apartment. Telling him to get out the house, and just started laying hands on my friend. So it was the difference when it was a difference when this person used to fight me versus when they fought my friend. That just took me by surprise because my friend never showed any fighting signs that they wanted to fight. They just was there to help me move. And I was like, this is why I should have had that police officer that I talked to come over here. But that didn't work out like that. On May 28th is when we had gotten into that fight and I had left the apartment. So I had told my leasing office, I said, look, here's the proof of everything you need to see of why I'm trying to get out of my lease. Like, this person is literally trying to kill me. Like, every time I try to leave, I couldn't leave. Every time, like, literally, y'all, no joke. Every time I try to leave, my suitcases would get broken. I would get hurt, physically. All that. So that's a whole lot. My apartment let me stay in a vacant unit until I was able to get my flight to go to Texas. I was trying to avoid it, but everything happens for a reason. I was back in Dallas, y'all, back in Dallas. So that same day, I had a panic attack on the plane. I'm a person that genuinely loves to travel, but I remember my mom, because me and my mom rekindled our relationship when we was in New York, because we fell off when I went to New York, which is the reason why I even went to New York in the first place. So we had kind of tried to rekindle our relationship when I was in New York. And when I came back, the day I came back to Dallas, I remember my mom saying, if you don't get out of that relationship, you're not going to be alive when you come back. And it just kept playing in my head over and over and over again when I was on the plane and it started to experience some turbulence. I was just like, well, I done left the situation and you telling me that I'm not even going to make it to Dallas? Like, what is going on? I was just so emotional. So we're just going to jump right into April of 2022, which is where y'all see me now. On my last videos, my first ever video on YouTube, that's around the time I started seeing my first ENT. And they told me that I needed to have surgery because they also did the biopsy with, the needle, and it came back inconclusive. They couldn't find anything. On May 17th is when I got surgery, and it took them a while to figure out what was wrong with me. Like, my test results didn't come back fast at all. Sometimes it only takes 3 days or, a few days. Mine took a long time. It was like a week and some change. Just imagine waiting for an answer for a week and some change. But he called me and told me, hey, you have cancer and you need to see a cancer doctor. But I have a friend of mine or someone that I know that I can refer you to, and I'm going to send you to her. So that's where I'm at now, y'all. That's how I found out I had cancer. So if you would like any more other story times, let me know in the comment section down below and I'm gonna deliver them, honey. Peace.